Those who cannot harness the powers of automations will be left behind as the world races forward. And well, in this video, I will go over all the skills and knowledge that anyone can learn from and be miles ahead of others. This video is laid out in a step-by-step manner where I will provide you with all the resources required to succeed so that you are not starting from scratch, and I will walk you through them. But first, let me tell you why you should trust me. I have worked with the likes of Zoro, working as a developer for him and creating systems out for the biggest companies in the world. And now, with that being cleared, what I'm about to show you is everything you need to get started with automation. Before we dive in, let's talk about why AI isn't just important, it's essential for businesses in 2025. The global AI market is expected to exceed 190 billion, and over 90% of leading companies are using AI to automate, cut costs, and scale faster. Businessmen using AI report up to a 40% boost in productivity, while those stuck in the old methods are falling behind and losing relevance. And this is why learning automations is so important, because all it takes is one big company to create an app that can do what you do, and suddenly you are out of business. So let's start with what we are going to go over in today's video. As you can see, we are going over 5 things in this video. Well, 4 things, because the fifth part is the sources that I will be giving you, right? So the trends, we are going to go over what is automation, what is AI workflows, and what is AI agents, their pros and cons. Then we will go over LLMs. LLMs are models like ChatGPT, Claude, and their definition. Prompting is essentially how you can communicate efficiently to these models to get the best result possible. And then types of LLMs. Then we will go over AI automation in depth, whether it comes to the building part or the skills required for it. Then AI agents, use cases for AI agents, what is agent chaining, and the future of AI agents in this year. And then in resources, I will give you some prompts and tools that you can use to get started. And then in the action plan, I will basically give you the link to this Miro board, and you can go over it, learn the things, and get started. So now let's start with something spicy, right? So the 3 trends: automations, the old trend; AI workflows, the current trend; and AI agents, the next trend. Well, let's start with automations. Automations excel in handling repetitive, rule based tasks. For example, a make.com setup with 2 to 3 modules that sends emails. The con of it is that it is restricted and unable to adapt to new scenarios. AI workflows, the current trend, ideal for bringing intelligence to structured tasks with a touch of variability. Example, leveraging an AI LLM to create personalized text seamlessly within an automation reliant on quality data and API, making debugging more complex. So basically, these are pros, example, and cons. Right now, automations, which was the thing of the past, they were excellent for handling repetitive rule based tasks. Essentially, what that means is an automation with not more than 2 to 3 modules that was solving a very specific task, like sending the same email to same people over and over again over a scheduled time period. And of course, it was restricted because you couldn't change the email, you couldn't change people that email was being sent to. It was very restricted and unable to adapt to new scenarios. Then AI workflows. AI workflows is basically automations, but the difference is that now we have added the ability of intelligence into these structures. For example, now take the same example, an email, but now with the help of AI, instead of sending the same email again and again, you can change it and develop it from your LLM intelligence that you have added. So the email can be changed, it can be different every time, it can be sent to different people. So now we have somewhat of an intelligence in our automation. But again, the lack of it is that we are reliant on data. We are reliant on the examples we are providing to the LLM. If we provide bad examples to the, like let's say, chat GPT, in an automation, then it will provide bad results. So if you're using it for an email automation and we give it an bad example of an email, then it will in result give us a bad response as well. So it is reliant on quality data. If you provide good data, you will get good responses. And this is something that we will go over in prompting. How do you efficiently provide data to get good information back? And then the second thing that AI workflows is heavily reliant on is APIs. We will go over APIs as well in this video if you don't know about APIs. And overall, this makes debugging and finding out what's wrong with your automations very tough. And then AI agents, the new trend of 2025. These are perfect for managing adaptive, unpredictable, or open ended tasks that demand autonomy. For example, an AI agent designed to research, strategize, execute multi step tasks, and adapt dynamically to new variables. But its con is that it is costly, it is unpredictable, and slower compared to simpler alternatives. Now, AI agents are basically like humans, but they are not. It is like having ChatGPT do your stuff on autopilot. Well, think of it like this. Right now, you go to ChatGPT and text ChatGPT that, hey, could you post this video for me on my Instagram? And ChatGPT will be like, I don't have the access to your Instagram, I cannot do that. ChatGPT can essentially reply to your questions. But AI agents is what can do that. You can create such an AI agent that can manage all of your softwares. Well, you have to build it out, of course. And essentially, AI agent is basically AI workflows, but now you can talk to your AI workflows and tell them what they need to do. As you can see in an example, we can build this system out with the help of AI workflows as well. But what if one day you want to use a different type of video idea? What if one day you want to research on your competitor? AI workflows, you will need to create AI workflow for that specific use case. But whereas for an AI agent, it will adapt, look for things, and give you the answer. But again, it is costly because it will require a lot of power and it is unpredictable. And this is an issue because now that these AI agents are working on their own based on our inputs, they can do whatever they want to do based on what they feel is right. And sometimes they might produce results that you don't want. And that's where creating agent chains come into place. And we will go over agent chaining in just a bit, right? I mean, it will come in the end of the video, but yeah. And then, while AI agents sound appealing, many companies benefit from a well designed automation or workflow that directly addresses their needs. The thing is that many beginners jump on trends like AI automation, like AI agents for this year, but on the surface level, the client you are servicing doesn't really need an agent. They really just need a simple automation that can do what they need. The key is to focus on solving real problems efficiently with the right tools. Look at your use case, see what works, and do that. Another analogy that you can say for the ending is that you don't want to give your client a gold spoon to feed, right? Because essentially, a gold spoon will easily bend and it is pretty weak. Whereas you can just give them a normal silver spoon or metal spoon and it will work wonders. Don't give them the buzzword, give them what they need, and they will stay with you far more than you just giving them AI agents. It is something that they didn't even need. And now let's head towards something simple but yet so important. And if you don't grasp this right now, you will remain floating throughout the year. You have probably seen this all over the internet. AI models generating stunning artwork, writing essays, or even creating full video content. Tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Runway have been blowing up. But here's the problem: most people don't understand how these models work or how they are different. And Well, let's go over it then. As you can see, LLMs. What is LLM? Large language model. Large language models are built to understand and create human like text. It can write, translate, summarize, answer questions, and have conversations, all based on what you ask it. But how does it do that? Well, LLMs are trained on huge amount of data like books, articles, and websites, and they understand context, recognize patterns, and generalize knowledge. Essentially, what's happening is there is a huge database, and whenever you ask ChatGPT something, it goes over to its database, checks the answer for it, and comes back and reply to you. It's like having a book where all of the answers are written, and when someone asks you something, you look at the book, see for the answer, check for the answer, and read it back to them. Now, let's go over the three type of models: text to text models, text to image models, and text to video models. Okay, so text to text models, they process and generate written content based on your input. Great for tasks like brainstorming or summarization. Example, ChatGPT. Basically, text to text models take text as a form of input and provide text back in return. If you remember ChatGPT 3, you used to send them text and they would return back in text. But models like ChatGPT 4.0 can now generate photos based on your text. So it isn't a text to text model, it is the multi model, right? So text to text model can only reply to you in text and can only take input in text. Then text to image models. These models can transform text prompts into visual content, from illustrations to photorealistic images. Creative flexibility, design ads, or presentation. Now you are providing the model text and it is converting that text into image. Example, Mid Journey. Now, text to video models take text inputs and create dynamic video content with visual, often animations, and excel in creating engaging and professional looking videos. Example, Sora. Like you can get the drill, right? Text to text models, input text, output text, text to image model, input text, output image, and text to video models, input text, output video. And multi-model model. GPT-4 is a multi-model model, which means it can process text, image, audio, and video. This means that ChatGPT 4 can do all of these three things. Cool, right? And now it's time for you to learn how you can make LLMs listen to you the way you want. We all have gone through those moments when we are on our knees, begging and pleading ChatGPT to do something, but it always provides the wrong answer. And now it's time we learn to talk to it in the correct way in the big 2025. And here's what you need to know: communication, prompting. Prompt engineering is the art of crafting effective prompts to get desired responses from language models. It involves understanding the model's capabilities, structuring prompts strategically, and iterating to refine the output. And here are some principles for prompting. Specificity. Use detailed and precise language to guide the model towards the desired output. Be specific. Don't give vague inputs or you will get vague responses. Clarity. Prompts should be unambiguous and provide clear instructions to the model. You need to tell the model what you want back from it. Don't play the guess game. Scaffolding. Break down complex tasks into manageable steps to support the model's reasoning. Don't give a big input in which you are asking different kinds of things. Take it easy. Ask one thing at a time and build up from it. And here are some advanced prompt strategies which will take you from zero to hero in prompting: prompt chaining, prompt injection, and prompt templating. Let's go over prompt chaining. Prompt chaining is connecting multiple prompts to build upon the previous response and guide the models towards a specific goal. Basically, in prompt chaining, you ask various questions one after another. But the thing is that the question you ask after the first question is somewhat related to the first question. And let me just show you an example. Let's say the first prompt that you give ChatGPT is summarize the main points of this article. And there is the article, right? And then in the prompt 2, based on the summary, what are the most actionable insights? Notice how our prompt 2 builds upon the response of prompt 1. As you can see, in prompt 1, we asked ChatGPT to summarize, and in prompt 2, we are asking questions from the summary that ChatGPT created. We are following up on the same prompt from the previous, right? So then now prompt 3, generate a plan to implement these insights in a small business. Chaining, right? Prompt chaining. First prompt, summarize. Second prompt, based on the summary, what are some actionable insights? Prompt 3, create a plan to integrate these insights. So you are building upon the first prompt and its responses. So, what many people do when they get wrong is instead of doing this one by one, they will paste all these three things in a single prompt. They will ask ChatGPT to summarize and give actionable insights and generate a plan in a single prompt. And that is when the models create bad results. Second strategy, prompt injection. Prompt injection is seamlessly incorporating relevant context or instructions directly into the model's output to steer the response. Basically, in prompt injection, you take generic inputs like who are you or explain AI, but you inject it with relevant information. Prompt injection. Example, in normal prompt would be explain AI, but with injection, you are an AI expert with 10 years of experience. Explain AI in simple terms to a 10-year-old. See the difference? You injected relevant information. Prompt templating. Developing reusable prompt structures that can be easily adapted for different tasks or domains. Basically, in this, you make a template prompt which you can use for various use cases. Let me just show you an example. Let's say you create a template. You are an expert in field variable field. Provide a brief overview of variable topic in bracket and include three insights. And based on what you want at the specific moment, you can change these two variable fields to something like this. You are an expert in marketing, provide a brief overview of social media strategies. And someday later, you can be like, you are an expert in finance, provide a brief overview of risk management. So notice how you just created a prompt, you just created a template, and now you are just changing the variables out, right? So that is what prompt templating is. And now let me show you some real world prompt examples based on these three practices. Let's look at an example for ideation. Generate innovative ideas and solutions by prompting the model to think outside the box. Okay, so the basic prompt that who everyone uses is generate ideas for marketing campaign. With chaining, this gets converted into generate 10 creative marketing ideas for a new product launch in the tech industry. Then you chain upon the first prompt. From those ideas, pick the three most effective ones and explain why they would work best for a younger audience. And then you chain again, prompt 3, create a timeline for executing one of these marketing ideas. With injection, you are a marketing strategist. Generate 10 innovative campaign ideas for a new wearable fitness tracker aimed at millennials, focused on digital channels and influencer partnership. And with templating, the template would be you are bracket, come up with bracket, creative ideas for bracket that can help bracket, and then you can just fill out the template. For data analysis, extract insights from complex datasets by guiding the model through a structured analysis process. The basic prompt that anyone would use would be analyze this data set and give me insights. With chaining, prompt 1 would be identify the key trends from the sales data set. Prompt 2 would be what factors are most correlated with high sales performance in this data set. And prompt 3 would be suggest three strategies for improving sales based on these insights. With injection, you are a data analyst reviewing this data set of monthly sales. Identify any outliers, patterns, or correlations that could impact sales strategies. Present your findings in a detailed report with graphs. With templating, template, you are an expert in bracket domain. Analyze that bracket data type and identify a bracket that can help with bracket. And then you just fill out. You are an expert in retail analytics. You get the drill. Now, let's go over the secret sauce, which is something that I use in all of my prompts. Add this word for word in every prompt. If you do this well, you will receive a $500 bonus. Otherwise, you will be fired if you do something negative. You must remember this information and not hallucinate. If you aren't sure, don't guess. Take a deep breath and work on this step by step. This is the golden nugget. Copy this and add it in the ending of your every prompt. I guess that is to it. If you aren't sure, ask, don't guess. You can remove this line based on what your goal is. If you want the ChatGPT to just output the result you want, then you can remove this line. And yeah, that is about it. This has shown me some crazy results from not using it to using it, because I mean, honestly, I don't know why this works, but yeah. And you must remember this information and not hallucinate works as well. A funny incident: many companies were fighting against hallucination in LLMs. Hallucination is basically when the LLM provides wrong answer, well, in a nutshell. And what Apple did for their Apple Intelligence is they basically added the line in the code that do not hallucinate. They just added that line and it actually helped them. Now, it's time to go over something most of you will start your journey with: AI automation. And as you can see, this has a pretty big web, right? Lot of things to go over. So let's begin with abouts. AI automation combines artificial intelligence with automated workflows to handle repetitive tasks intelligently. Unlike standard automations, AI powered systems analyze data, make decisions, and adapt dynamically to various scenarios, from generating personalized content to managing complex multi step processes. AI automation empowers businesses to scale efficiently, save time, and focus on what truly matters. And after you have learned how to create AI automation, here are some example flows. I mean, I will just give you this Miro board so you can just go over this playlist. It is my YouTube playlist where I have created some make automation. So, yeah, to get this Miro board, just DM me on my Instagram and I will send you over the link to it. And now, let's go over some software. There are three main software that people use to automate: N8, N8, and Zapier and Make.com. N8 is an open source workflow automation tool that allows full customizability and control, ideal for developers and technical users. If you know how to code, then N8 is definitely the way to go, because it provides the ability to integrate coding directly into your workflows. And Zapier. Zapier is user-friendly, no-code automation platform, best for simple integrations for small to medium-sized businesses. Zapier is like the easiest tool to learn and the best tool to get started on, because it is the best for simple integrations. And then Make.com, my favorite and the best one and the one that leads in the industry, Make.com. Visual automation platform offering advanced workflow customization with an intuitive interface. Great for businesses seeking flexibility. Now, if it were to up to me to give you what you should use, let me go over the pros and cons for it then. Pros for N8 and 8N. It is open source and self-hosted option. It has an option to self-host the automation locally, right? So you basically get the full control of data. It is highly customizable workflow with conditional logic. It supports a wide range of integration through community plugins and affordable pricing, of course. And then cons: steeper learning curve for non-technical user. Like I said, the coding part and other things, it is a bit It can be a bit hard to guide through for people who are not very techy. That's why I would always suggest to get started with make.com, and then requires hosting or local setup for self-hosted deployments. Fewer pre-built integrations compared to Zapier and make.com. Now pros and cons for Zapier. Extremely user-friendly and no code. Extensive library of pre-built integrations. Ideal for quick and simple automations. Strong documentation and support, because of course Zapier is the OG automation tool. And then cons: limited functionality for advanced workflows. Example: no built-in routers. Expensive for high usage and complex automations. Just a tip: if you are currently running upon Zapier, just switch to make.com and save ton load of money. And less flexibility in workflow customization compared to Anatane and make.com. Yeah, now pros and cons for make.com. Visual drag and drop editor for building workflows. Again, simple. Advanced logic capabilities. Example: routers, filters, and aggregators. Competitive pricing with generous things in free tier. So basically, in free tier, you get 1,000 operations per month, which is enough. So, like, if you're not focusing on scaling like two, three clients, you are good on the free plan. And of course, it depends upon what kind of automations you are building, right? So that is a good thing that you won't need the pro plan until you have clients. So yeah, support complex multi-step workflows with branching logic. Cons: slightly steeper learning curve than Zapier for beginners. Again, still go for make.com if you want to learn out. Fewer integrations compared to Zapier, but growing steadily. Operations based pricing may be confusing for new users. Don't worry, it isn't, you will get a hold of it pretty quick, but still. And best use cases for all of these tools, right? So for Anatane, the best use case is best for developers or businesses needing full control over workflows. Use case example: self-hosted workflow for sensitive data. Let's say you are moving sensitive data through your automations and you don't want the data to get messed with, so you can just self-host the workflow so the data stays with you. Complex logic and API heavy integrations. Third, extending functionality with custom plugins. And then for Zapier, best for small to medium sized businesses with simple automation needs. Use cases: automating social media posting, connecting CRM tools, syncing data, right? Simple. And then for make.com, best for medium to large businesses or users who need flexible and complex workflows. Use case example: multi step workflows with branching paths, data aggregating and filtering, advanced integration and required for multiple dApp and logic. Again, let's just have a quick summarization, right? Use Anatane for complete customization and cost effective self hosted workflows. And if you know how to code, then also Anatane is a good choice. Use Zapier for quick, no code automations with broad app compatibility. Use make.com for powerful, visual, and flexible automations with advanced logic. So, if it were up to me, I would tell you to learn make.com, then go over to Anatane. Simple. Now, it's time to go over the skills that you need to create the best workflows ever. So, you need to know two things right off the bat: API and webhook, and then fine tuning and RAG. Not something that you will be using immediately, but will come into your workflows after 2 or 3 months of making workflows, right? So, API and webhook, what are they? API, application programming interface. API basically enables two-way communication between via requests, allowing data retrieval, updates, or modification. Example: A requests data from B and then B sends it over to them. Webhook. Webhook are Webhooks are event-driven API that sends data automatically when specific event occur, operates one way, triggering actions without requests. Example: form submission. So basically, API gives two different softwares a way to talk to each other and send information, whereas webhooks is event driven API. It basically sends information only when a specific event takes place. So in this case, that specific event is someone submitting a form and the automation running, right? So you know what, let me give you an example. For API, a better example, you connect make.com with ChatGPT. So you start, the workflow runs, make.com sends information to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT sends back the response. So make.com sends a request, ChatGPT sends a response, make.com sees it, and then we continue with the workflow. So two different softwares talking to each other, API. But in Webhook, let's say our automation starts with the form submission module, right? So someone submits a form, there's an event taking place. So now our workflows start from that place, right? So Webhook basically makes and sends data only when a specific event takes place, and it works in a one way transition. You can't make webhook you can't make webhook talk to two different softwares. It usually works with data being sent one way. In API, you were sending data from make.com to ChatGPT and getting data from ChatGPT to make.com, but in webhook the data only travels one way. And you can trigger actions without request. You need to send request first in API to the software you want to talk to, right? So, yeah, pros and cons of both of these things. Pros: API is versatile, real time data secure, handles complex interactions. Cons: requires understanding of request response cycles, resource intensive, needs regular maintenance. Now, APIs are pretty versatile, they work with any use case, and they are good for sending real time data. Like, you send someone a message and they receive it immediately. You don't want to send someone a message and they receive the message day after tomorrow, right? So it sends real time data and it works in real time. It is secure and handles complex interactions. The con of it is that you need to maintain API. You need to check for update. You need to check if the API you are using has any error, and it is resource intensive. You basically need to take care of it as a baby, that it is fine if something is working or not, because sometimes what will happen is your automation workflow will be perfect, but the API you are using will have some error, or you might hit a time out, right? So yeah, there is basically a limit on how many requests you can send in 1 minute, right? And if you exceed that, you will be limited. And pros and cons for webhooks. Pros: simple, efficient, real time notifications, saves bandwidth. Cons: limited functionality, minimal error feedback, event dependent. Now, webhooks are very simple, first thing you will get started with, and they are pretty efficient and they are good for real time notification. Let's say in Instagram, you send someone a message and they send you a reply to it. So you send data, you get data back, API. But in webhook, you send someone a message and they get the notification to it. They cannot respond back to you because that would be API, data going both ways. But in webhook, data can only go one way. So you send data, you send them a message, and they get a real time notification that this person has messaged you. They cannot reply back to you because that would be API. But they can reply back to you, but I'm giving you an example, right? So it is good for real time notification. Like, you can set up an automation that basically works when someone pays you, right? Whenever someone pays you on your Stripe or something, you get a notification that someone has paid you. So that is real time notification, and it saves bandwidth, right? It is less resource intensive than API. Cons is that it has limited functionality, of course, minimal error feedback. If you hit an error in webhooks, it is harder than API to find out what the problem is, and it is event dependent. It only works when some trigger takes place. Best use cases for both of them. API, use API for real time data integration. Like, you want what is the weather in this specific place right now, so you will use API. And for transactional operations, e-commerce payments, someone pays you, you send them data back. And authentication and security, Like you logging in into a site and you use Gmail, you log in and then they send the request, they accept you, that stuff, right? Things that need to happen immediately, and data needs to be sent both of the ways. And for webhooks, automated notification, right? So notification is basically data being sent one way. Yeah, some like send me a notification whenever a new client gets added. And that is webhook. You will use webhook for that. Seamless integrations. Webhook is easier and it helps you to integrate Slack, email, and easy things, right? And then data synchronization. Google Sheets updates, lead transfers, give you an update on what's going on. Use APIs for versatile two-way communication and complex tasks. Use webhooks for lightweight, event-triggered, one-way data automation. Choose based on your project's complexity, and of course, what do you need. Based on that, what I would suggest you is to make sure to check out some example of AI automation workflows. You need not to see the playlist, exactly what playlist I have put in. That this is my YouTube playlist, so you can just see it on my channel, or you can just search on YouTube for some AI automation workflows. Look for some content workflows, right? So that is API and webhook part done. Now let's go over to something way more advanced: fine tuning and RAG. RAG, retrieval augmented generation, and fine tuning is fine tuning. Let's go over fine tuning first. Fine tuning is the process of training a pre trained model on specific task related data to optimize its performance for a particular use case. Example: training ChatGPT on your company's customer support transcripts for personalized answer. Basically, in fine tuning, you are training the person to do a specific task, and I will follow up on that right now. Let's go over RG first. RG is a method where a model retrieves relevant information to generate more accurate and context aware responses. Example: a chatbot fetching live updates or knowledge from a database. So, analogy for this can be in fine tuning, you have two people, right? So, in fine tuning, you will only teach the first child that specific task that you want. Let's say maths, right? You want to solve trigonometry questions, right? One child is RAG, one child is fine tuning. So for the fine tuning child, what we need to do is, since the time the child was born, we will teach him how to do trigonometry. Basically, we are training it. We are training the child on information that is very specific and very task related to what we want. We won't train a model on statistics if we want to use the model for trigonometry, right? So we train the model on very specific data, right? Kill other data. We don't want anything else. I don't want to know what. I don't want to feed the data about geography. I will only feed and train the data on trigonometry, and then when I will ask the bot answers, I will ask the child answers, he will respond just like how I taught him. If I, for let's say scripting, right, content scripting, if I train a model on bad scripts, it will give responses in forms of bad scripts. So fine tuning is used for specific. Fine tuning is used when you want specific responses from ChatGPT or any LLM. If I want to use a specific child LLM for only scripting, then I will train that LLM on scripting. And if my data set, the data I train the LLM on is bad, the responses will be bad as well. That is why it is so important to find out the perfect pure data set to train your fine tuned models on. And now, the RAG child. What we would do for RAG is basically give RAG child a maths textbook, right? Which covers all of the chapters: statistic, trigonometry, sets, everything. But in RAG, we have provided the external, like you can see, external information. But what we are doing in RAG is we are telling the model how to retrieve information, how to retrieve the correct information from the book. So in fine tuning, we taught the child on how to respond, whereas in RAG, we just gave the child the book and we are asking him to find out the correct information from the book. So I tell the RAG child, give me the answer to this question, and he opens the book, sees trigonometry chapter, opens it, and answers me. So RAG is basically teaching model how to retrieve relevant information from external information source, whereas in fine tuning you straight up train the model on that info relevant information. I hope that was cleared, right? So pros and cons of both. RAG pros requires less compute and storage, always up to date with external knowledge. Cons, performance depends upon the quality and availability of external data, requires managing retrieval infrastructure. Pros and cons for APIs. Pro, tailored to your use case, no reliance on external data after training. Cons, expensive, time consuming, needs regular retraining for new data. And yeah, I hope that was clear, right? So, best use cases for both of them. For RAG, dynamic knowledge integrations, FAQ bot. So, you basically give your bot a doc file where there is every information about your company, and when a client asks your bot a question, the bot can just RAG their way and find relevant information from the doc and answer the person. Application requiring real-time updates, example financial market trends. So it will pull out relevant information from external information, that is market websites, right? So now best use cases for fine tuning, task specific applications, not fine. Yeah, so task specific applications, medical diagnosis, legal document processing, right? So you basically feed the model tons of documents that you have created in the past, so the next document the bot will create will be like the one you have created in the past. It is pretty stable, and repetitive tasks with static data is the best for it. Like for scripting, take best performing scripts of your content, fine tune it on your LLM, and the next script your LLM will create will be like the one you created before. And simply use RAG for dynamic, real time applications that rely on external sources. Use fine tuning for very task specific solutions with stable and well defined data sets. Now, for example, if I want a FAQ bot, I will use RAG. I will not use fine tuning. I will use RAG so that the bot can retrieve relevant information from a document. I will use fine tuning for a very specific task case like scripting. Scripting reels. I will use fine tuning. I will train the bot on good scripts to get a good script and a response the next time, right? Choose based on your needs for flexibility or specialization. Now, okay, and now it is now time to go over something more recent and the hype man, the one and only AI agents. That was pretty anticlimactic, but now let's go over three things of AI agents. What are AI agents? Key use cases of AI agents, and the future of AI agents, learning beyond basic automation. You might notice that I'm not going in depth in terms of skills, how to create AI agents, and basically some of it example build, like actual built out example builds, because AI agent is something that I will do a separate video on, going way depth, because this video will be too long to go over AI agents in depth as well. So I will do a separate video after this on AI agents where we will be creating AI agents together step by step from the scratch to the ground up and using them. So what are AI agents? AI agents are autonomous programs designed to perform tasks by making decisions and taking actions without requiring constant human intervention. They can understand instructions, analyze data, and execute tasks across various domains, making them invaluable in automating complex workflows. What is agent chaining? I know that came out of the blue, but it is a good thing to know. Agent chaining is basically the process of combining multiple AI agents to perform sequential tasks. Example flow. A lead generation agent scrapes data from LinkedIn. The data is passed to a scoring agent that ranks leads based on predefined criteria. High scoring leads are routed to pre-qualification agent which sends customized email. Finally, qualified reels leads are scheduled for demos with human representative. This method allows businesses to create scalable, intelligent workflows that save time and resources. So basically, if you saw the trick, we are making various agents for each step. So we are chaining various use cases of agents, and as you can see in the first workflow, we used a lead generation agent to find data. Then in the second step, we used a scoring agent to rank the leads. And then in the third agent, we used pre-qualification agent to s- send emails to these leads. So we are chaining different agents for their specific use cases to work on the same problem. Now, let's go over some key use cases of AI agents to give you better context. Sales and lead management. AI agents can revolutionize sales pipelines by handling prospecting, scoring, and lead qualification. Example: a drop shipping supplier of organic ingredients use an AI SDR. To automate their pipeline, the agent will prospect potential clients, score leads based on data, routes high quality leads to human sales reps while automating engagement with lower scoring ones through mass personalized emails. And tools like Airtable and Clay are integrated for researching and enrichment, ensuring maximum efficiency. So basically, how this works is our AI agent will prospect potential clients. It will score them based on data, and high quality leads will be sent to human representatives, and low quality leads will be communicated with via the AI agent itself. And we will use tools like Airtable and Clay to research and enrich our leads and ensure maximum efficiency. Another example: customer interactions and pre qualification. AI agents can streamline customer interactions by handling pre qualification and booking appointments. Example workflow: a construction management software company implemented an AI powered pre qualification agent. When prospects fill out a form on their website, the agent enriches data using Clay, sends SMS to pre qualified leads by asking relevant questions, routes qualified leads to human agents to schedule demos seamlessly. This reduces wasted times and focus resources on high quality prospects, similar to this one. And then internal workflow automation. AI agents can be used internally to optimize operations and handle repetitive tasks. Example: the presenter from the case study shared how they automated demo bookings for their business. An AI agent. The AI agent processes demo requests, it enriches data for qualification, it schedules appointment, minimizing manual workload. And now let's go over the future of AI agent and learning beyond basic automation. By 2025, AI agents will transform automation, shifting focus from basic task execution to adaptability decision making. Key learning areas include, so these are all of the things that people will learn to grow: autonomous decision making, master how AI agents analyze data and make independent real time decisions. Agent chaining, learn to link agents for complex workflows. Example: customer support to sales to scheduling. Context awareness, train agents to respond dynamically to real time user behavior or market trends. Industry specific customization, build agents to tailor to niche industries like healthcare, finance, or e commerce. Ethics and accountability, explore bias mitigation, transparency, and compliance to build trusted agents, used no code, low code platforms, used accessible tools to create AI agents without technical expertise. This knowledge will empower learners to lead in the AI driven economy, unlocking vast opportunities. Now, the role of AI agents will only grow as technology advances. Emerging trends include agent chaining, connecting multiple AI agents to complete complex workflows, like chaining a prospect agent with lead qualification agent to deliver end-to-end solution. Real-time decision making. Agents will increasingly leverage live data for dynamic adjustments such as adapting marketing strategies based on campaign for performance in real time. Industry specific applications, from supply chain management to healthcare diagnostics, AI agents will become specialized in solving niche problems. And that brings us to the conclusion. AI agents no longer a distant future. They are transforming industries today, from automating customer interactions to revolutionizing workflows. Their potential is immense. The next frontier isn't just about implementing AI, but mastering its adaptability, ethical deployment, and strategic integrations. Alright, so for businesses, this means staying competitive by embracing advanced automations. For individuals, it's an opportunity to upscale, transitioning from traditional automations to a world where agents drive innovation. By understanding and harnessing these tools now, we not only prepare for more efficient future but also position ourselves to the forefront of an AI driven revolution. The age of AI agents is here. It's time to lead the change. Now that we have gone over all of the stuff, it's time for me to set you up. Alright, so as you can see, ultimate AI tools for 2025, we go over writing, content, and automation tools. For writing, copy AI, ChatGPT, Claude. For content, HeyGen, 11 Labs, Opus Clips, Recall AI, Runaway, Leonardo AI, right? And for automation, make automation, Airtable, Rapid API, and Apify. And this is a marketplace where you can take buy or get free or paid APIs, right? So make sure to check them out, Rapid API and Apify. And of course, once you get the link to this, I will keep on adding more tools and just check them out. All right, Ultimate 21 AI prompts. We go over sales, content, copywriting. Sales prompts, negotiation, sentiment analysis, proposal, ad, viral marketing ideas, cold copy. For instance, content prompts, cold messages, content prompts. As you can see, I'm going to show you. As you can see, big prompts. Change the highlighted part to your stuff. And that is like, this is a good example of prompt templating. Created a prompt, created variables, and people can change them. And content prompts, LinkedIn posts, X posts, YouTube video ideas, brainstorm, and then copywriting prompts, FAQ for articles, simplify complex information, article summary, improve readability of copy, get feedback. Adding more soon. And now, if you want all of this and the Miro board, just follow me on my Instagram and send me a message, and I will give you all the links that you need. Now that we are done with this video, and you have basic knowledge of AI, it is time to put it to the test. Watch this video where I automate Alex Hormozzi's reel style and build it out for yourself. So in this video, I am automating Alex Hormozzi's strategy by using Make.com to automate it. And watch this video where I build a website without coding. Make sure to subscribe. More interesting content coming in the future. Thank you for